So I have searched and searched for the perfect homeschool planner, and I believe it's out there. I think I found them, but I just cannot afford them. So rather than settle for a planner I don't really love and not wanting to put my family into debt to buy a planner, I decided to make my own. And since there has seemed to be a lot of interest in my past 2 videos over my planner, I have decided I am going to dedicate an entire video to showing you exactly what is in my planner, and I'm even offering it to you completely for free. Printable, of course. So if that is of interest to you, just stick around. So if you're new around here, hi, my name is Brittany. I am a homeschool mom of 4 kids from high school all the way down to kindergarten. We have been homeschooling for 9 years, and I love to talk all things homeschool and homemaking. I have tried several planners, and really my budget is basically print your own. I have done a couple of trials with just using cheaper planners, and a lot of the time it just doesn't suit very well for a homeschool family. I always feel like I'm missing something, or I'm having to like tab some papers in there, like tack them in, and I just finally gave up and decided this is the year. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna bite the bullet and build my own. So my planner, I have this flex binder. I just got it off of Amazon. You can get one for like $10. Spend a little bit more, and they have the pretty pocket that you could like make your own cover. But I wasn't sure I was gonna love it, so I didn't get that. Kind of wish I had, but it's okay. I only am using one. So what's really cool about this binder is that it can be turned all the way around, and the rings are on the outside. There's also a pack I saw on Amazon that might even be better. I will link both of those in the description box. So you can turn the pages all the way around, and it's not really that much more difficult to do than if you were using a regular spiral bound. I did opt for a heavier weight paper. I can't remember what the weight is on this paper. I'll put it right down here so that way you can buy the heavier weight paper. It ended up being, I think, $10, $15. So the price of a planner just to get the paper, and I still have an overabundance of paper, so it will last me for multiple planners or for other projects that I might want to do with it. The planner itself comes with a bunch of extra pockets and stuff. I just took those out because I don't need all of the extra pockets. I need to order some more tabs, you know, the little tabs that you can just stick on to papers. I have lost all of my tabs. My kids found them, and that's that. So I'm going to flip the camera around, and I'm going to show you everything I have in this planner. Okay, so the first thing you have is I have this cover page. Now this scripture is not the scripture that is on my printable planner, because this is a scripture that is just personal for me. I personally struggle with a little bit of laziness, and so this is a good reminder for me. And so I opted for a more universal scripture that could be better for everybody, and the one that I am making available. I have my year at a glance that has all of my terms and things like that. I have this nifty school tracker, which I actually have not been doing this week. This is our first week back to school, and so I color in the boxes as we go, and then I kind of write on the bottom where I keep track of how many days we've done school. The books that we've read, so I'll write the title, who read it, if it was a read aloud or if it was a kid, the date that was finished, and give it a rating. I have 2 pages for this. Our current curriculum with all of the pricing and things like that. I haven't finished filling all of this out, but you can kind of get the idea. My curriculum mapping pages, which are very popular. My curriculum mapping pages is where I just break down by kid, the subject, how many lessons it is, how many days a week, and when we would finish it by, and there are 2 of those pages. My mother culture pages, where I am tracking the books that I am going to read, what the topic is, how many pages I want to read a day, how long it's going to take me to finish it, my hobbies I want to work on, and the habits that I want to work to cultivate. On the back, my mother culture verses and quotes that are going to go with my personal habit training. My term 1 goals, clearly I'm a little bit behind. It's been It's been a rough start this year, but that's okay. We're getting there. So we're going to have, this is all of our goal setting page. Now in my printable version, all of the term goals are at the front of the planner. It's term 1 plus these reflection pages. You'll see, let me flip to term 2. Okay, so you can see there is a term reflection page where you will write what worked well, what didn't work well, praises and prayers, and then it moves you into your term 2 goals. So what you're going to change about it. And then a whole page to work on break ideas. This is kind of like my brain dumping page. We want to do something fun. If I want to do some decluttering projects on break, if I want to really focus on rest, whatever I'm wanting to do, I'm just going to either journal about it or do a brain dump and just put everything that I want to do for term 1 break. How we have this set up is we do 6-week terms. So these are not dated. The terms pages are not dated. You just see term 1, term 2. So if you did 4 terms, you could just print off 4 terms instead of doing 6 terms. But I have it labeled as term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, term 5, term 6 for the printable because we do 6-week terms. Okay, flip back. And then you have, so this is my my monthly planning page where I just write down our projects and stuff like that. And then I have a supplies list here for anything I need to get this month, a notes page, a scripture. Each month has a different scripture, and then a little clip out of the next month at a glance, and then your planning pages. So my planning pages have my kids' names and some like our elementary group subjects, our devotional, our habit we're working on, the memory verse we're working on, our current read aloud, and the manner of the week that we're working on. But my printable version does not have that. There are, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 spaces, but they are measured out evenly and they are not filled in with anything over here, so you could fill it out yourself. These are not dated, you can see. So if you needed extra pages, you could do that. You just write in the date at the top. It is vertical instead of horizontal. So you have your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and a space for notes over each subject or child. And then in the printable version, these 3 lines are blank. So you could do whatever kinds of notes you wanted to put there. And then the same thing, each month looks the same. New verse, supplies, notes, month at a glance. And then we're back to where I was showing you before. Now, on the printable version for the goals, I have these just blank boxes. So you could put in whatever you wanted to, if you wanted to put by kid or by subject, or if you just wanted to set general goals, if you wanted to do chores or habits that you're wanting to work on, or things like that, or your own personal goals. This could be for homeschool. This could be your own personal goals. However you want to set it up, it would be, it's very flexible that way. In mine, I have each term ends with another scripture. I did not do this for the printable version because I don't know when your terms will be. Oh goodness. Okay, my camera cut out, so hopefully this picks up in the right spot. We'll see. So the rest of the planner kind of follows that same just pattern of having, all of your weeks. Then you have your months, new verse, all the same here. And then you have your week at a glance. And so all of the rest is the same. So I'm just going to flip over to the back to show you what's at the very end. Okay, so at the very end of mine, I have term 6 reflections. Now, like I said before, the term reflections and goals are at the beginning of the planner for the printable version. Mine, I have it plugged in. So in the printable version, this next page after you get through all of your June, which by the way, this planner does run July 2025 to June 2026. So if you school year round, you're covered. And so this page will be here. So you will have your year-end reflections, where it's very similar to your term reflections of what worked well, what didn't. And I just put praises and I didn't put any prayers on here, which I guess I could have, but I really wanted to focus on praise at the year-end reflection, because I feel like a lot of times we beat ourselves up at the end of the year on what didn't happen and what we didn't do and the areas where we felt like we just fell behind. And I really wanted to have a big focus on praising God for what he has done in our lives and praising our kids for how hard they worked and how hard we worked, hopefully. So yeah, focusing on the positive. And so then we have our 2026-2027 curriculum idea space to write down everything. We have our subject, name, student, and total price, just some ideas. And then my planner has 3 notes pages, but I think the printable one that I made has 4 notes pages on it. And that's it. It's a very, I think, a fairly simple planner, but very much what I needed. So that is it. That's my planner for the year. If you want a copy for yourself, the link to it will be in the description box. It is a Canva link. I put instructions on how to go through and download in Canva if you've never done that before. I am trying to figure out how to actually set up a website where I could put documents, PDF files for y'all to print off, but I'm still trying to figure that out. Haven't quite figured that one out yet, but we're working on it. It's a work in progress. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you are a homeschool mama or you're into homeschool and homemaking and all of that kind of stuff, I hope you'll consider sticking around and subscribing. If you have any questions about anything with my planner, anything that I have talked about in a previous video, please leave it in the comments. So I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you in the next one.